There's the bus. Hello, athletes and fans of bodybuilding. I'm Lenda Murray, 8 times Miss Olympia, and you're watching Olympia TV. And I'm here with my fabulous host, Wendy Fortino, 7 times Miss Olympian. And
Miss Olympian, I like that.
That's right. And Camile Periat, IFBB Bikini Pro. She's also an NPC judge and an IFBB Pro judge. Welcome, ladies. Let's get this party started.
Oh, yeah.
But before, please be sure to like the button, subscribe, and that really helps our show and the algorithm. So we'd appreciate if you don't just watch, but also like.
Yes, exactly.
That's right. That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Subscribe. This is live TV. And, you know, in live TV, nothing is ever perfect. And we had a little bit of a snafu, and that's why we're a few minutes late. My internet crashed. So if you don't mind, I am going to make sure that our amazing guest. Oh, wait.
Yep. So let me introduce. I believe she's here. She's ready.
She's not ready. She's not
fresh.
Quite here yet.
Fresh off the stage.
Okay, well, let's talk about this because really
Camile,
exciting.
I don't think she's getting my numbers. It's my text. She actually said the number's not working. So can you text her?
Yeah.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is how it is, live TV.
Well, so, why don't you guys introduce her? I'm gonna reach out to her.
Yeah. So Jaclyn Baker. Okay. Many of you know
Jaclyn Baker.
Many of you know Jaclyn. She has a special place in my heart because I saw her complete her routine at the Olympia. She took 3rd at the Olympia, and she was absolutely stunning. She was moving. She made me emotional. Her routine was insane. She fast forward to the Fitness International, where she took 2nd place to Ariel Kadar, and both of them they really stood out. They separated themselves from the pack. They both had incredible routines, great physiques, and then after that, they both came back and they competed in the Arnold UK, and it was going to be a close battle. We all knew, and Jaclyn came through as the victor. And so she is flying high. We're here to throw her a parade, and we're here to honor her and talk about it and find out what went into that amazing experience. So here she is. And without further ado, everyone give a warm welcome, a round of applause to Jaclyn Baker. Woo!
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, our new Miss International Fitness UK.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
So Jaclyn, how does it feel? Okay, because we're going to dive into everything that went into this victory, but just fresh off of the stage and all the feels, give us a little taste of what it feels like right now after all this.
I guess the only word I can use is surreal and proud. I think I worked really, really hard all these years, this past couple years specifically. And I feel like I was rewarded for all of my hard work. And I'm just very proud of myself and my team. And yeah, so surreal and proud is the 2 words that come to mind.
So I have a question. You compete in the Arnold Classic as well. Just 2 weeks prior to that?
Correct.
What you changed your routine, your physique also improved a little bit too. How did you make those changes, and what was your strategy moving forward?
So as far as my physique goes, I have a fantastic coach. His name is Chino Burgos. And he takes the reins on that. I put all of that in his hands. He calls me the robot. I don't question anything. I obviously want to learn and educate myself as to what we're doing and why, but I don't ever say like, oh, we should do this or we should do that. He knows what he's doing as far as I'm concerned. So he knew we needed to come in leaner. He knew we needed to come in fuller. My shape doesn't really come out unless I must have a certain amount of fullness. I kind of just look very straight. I don't have that, broad clavicles, small waist. So we've put enough muscle on that I think it creates that when I'm full. But I have to be lean enough and full enough. Right. So we got leaner for UK. As far as my routine goes, I mean, most people think I'm insane, but I had 2 days in the studio with my sister who helps me with my routine, and also via FaceTime with my choreographer, Grady Bowman, and then myself just in the studio revamping. And we picked a song the Saturday of Arnold, Ohio. I got in the studio on Wednesday with my sister and Friday, and we choreographed this routine that you're watching right here. I rehearsed it full out twice.
What?
And then, performed it. I did it once with no costume, once with costume, and then in my hotel room a couple times, and that was it.
Wow.
Whoa,
that's amazing.
Thank you.
The moves that you did and like your technicals, like they were so strong. There was one that you did that was incredible. You did a backflip, but you did it on one hand.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Thank you. We call that the suicide combo. We have lots of names for that.
Suicide.
Yeah. So, we just kind of got all my skills. It was pretty hysterical. We wrote it all down, and my sister was chasing me around the studio, telling me what to do and where. I wish I had video of it. And I broke down crying and frustrated at one moment. The next moment we were laughing. And then 5 minutes later we had a routine. So
I cannot believe that we were just watching that you practiced it 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, so actually, let's talk about this for a second, okay?
Yeah.
You and your sisters are all professional dancers, right?
So my sisters and I all were dancers. My older sister danced for Radio City Rockettes for 16 years. She did Broadway tours. My younger sister transitioned from dancing to acting, and she moved to LA for acting. I danced professionally with a couple companies here in New York City. So that's my older sister with me right now, and my choreographer Grady, who we both danced with when we were younger. So my background is in dance, which allows me to pick up choreography quickly and perform quickly, I guess you could say.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
I remember
a family of performers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember we were talking about this when I saw you at the Olympia, and I went up to your booth and you came up to my booth and we were talking, and something you told me that I could not even get over is you said you had no gymnastics training and you jumped into it like when you started competing in fitness. And what in the heck? I mean, I used to be a gymnast, and when I was, in my 20s, I thought I am like long in the tooth for this. What the heck?
I should rephrase that for everyone. I didn't have gymnastics background. I had dancer acrobatic background.
Right.
So like dance skills as far as acrobatics go are very different than gymnast skills. We perform them differently, which is why I think I look very different moving as opposed to some of the people who are ex-cheerleaders or gymnasts. So my skills were just what I did dancing, like an aerial, back handsprings, cartwheels, walkovers. I never did balance beam or bars, or I've never tumbled on a sprung floor before. So that's kind of what I meant when I said I don't have a gymnastics background. I also was not proficient in any strength moves, meaning handstands, push-ups, stalls, or one-handed holds. I never did that until Olympia 2019, actually.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So what move, Jaclyn? What move do you like right before, like you kind of go, "Ooh, here it comes"? It puts a little fear in you, or you're a little uncomfortable.
You know what? It's so funny when I'm on stage. None of them. I kind of almost have like an alter ego when I'm on stage, and I just kind of go like a top. You just let me go and I go. I will say maybe like my press handstand, because that's newer to me. And I've now the past year added a one-handed croc, which I just learned this year. So I would say those two are newer skills to me. So those mentally, I'm like, okay, here you go, Jaclyn, do it. Yeah, but I try not to focus on that the whole routine. I'm more just focusing on performing, having fun.
Yeah, I asked that because when I learned how to do a back handspring, and we'd have our cheerleading routines, and we have to do them together.
Yeah.
And like if you're off, or if you like blink for 1 second,
yeah,
my it's gonna be off from the group. So I had to like,
I think the good news with fitness is I'm all alone up there, so I don't have to match anyone else. But yeah, I do understand that working with groups, it's different.
Yeah, watching you, it is kind of, it's impressive that you don't have a gymnastics background, because it looks like you do. You hit these really well. What made you?
This is new that I had never done till this year, actually.
Wow.
And my coach and I drilled it in between legs, in between shoulders, and he really honed in on that skill, and we added that. Handstands and holds I had never done till 2019. Like this right here, I learned in 2019.
That was rad, by the way.
Yeah. You know what makes me so emotional with you, Jaclyn, is, and this was what you and Oksana both made me emotional at the Olympia. And every time I see you do your routine, I get emotional. And the thing is you put so much energy into completing every move. It's like every move you do is an explosion. Like I can see the energy coming out of your arms. You point your toes. You're just literally like perfection personified. There's this extra wow factor that you add to your routine, and it could be the same move as somebody else, but you just give it just that extra little bit. And would you say that's more from like your passion, or would you say that like your dance background really helped you with that?
I would say both. I would say both. I would say it's heart and passion. I don't really know that you can teach that sort of thing. I think people just have it. You have it in you.
You have it.
And I say that because like I watch my niece who's 9 years old who dances now, and she gets on stage. She's shy in person, and she gets on stage and just turns it on, and it's all of a sudden she's a whole different person. So I think I have a little bit of that. I feel very at home on stage. I love the energy that I feel from the audience. As far as the lines and finishing skills and movement, that's dance. Like that comes from my dance background. We don't finish a skill. Like I wasn't allowed to show that I was going to do an aerial or a back handspring. You had to move into it. So I think that's where my routines look a little bit different. And I think in my opinion, maybe people aren't realizing what they're really seeing. But the skills are tied together purposefully, because you can't just go, okay, I'm going to do a cartwheel now and go. It's you have to treat them and do the cartwheel without them knowing you're going to do it.
You have a nice flow in transitions.
Thank you.
It's very seamless.
Yeah.
Were your parents dancers also?
No, they weren't, and they're probably watching this. Hi, Mom and Dad. No, they're both very athletic, very coordinated humans, but they were not dancers or performers. My dad played sports, like recreational. My mom also. My mom actually did 2 bodybuilding shows kind of on a whim when she was in her 40s, and then when she was on her 60s. So one was before I started competing.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what made you get into the world of bodybuilding, since you were in such, had this big dance background? Your sisters are in different elements of dance. Like what made you choose bodybuilding?
So it's kind of an interesting story. I was injured. I have a lot of injuries, as we all do. And I was using a pool here in New York City at one of the gyms that I used to work at. And I had I was on my way to retire from dancing, and I was like, I'm just going to get one of those desk jobs where you just sit down and have all, all the benefits of, vacation and 401k and all of that kind of stuff. And my now coach, Chino, came up to me in the gym and asked me, why I was training, if I was getting ready for anything. And he was actually looking to train someone to get back into the bodybuilding industry. He had been out for a while. And he wanted to train me to do a competition. So I researched him in the area with some other trainers that I knew. And they were like, if you're going to do it, he's the guy to work with.
Yeah.
So I thought, what's 6 months of my life? I had just turned 30. I'm like, I'm already in this like transition period. Let's do it. And I trained with him for 6 months, and I did NPC, Metropolitan Classic. And I was in figure at the time.
Yeah.
And I won both my classes.
Ooh.
And it was another opportunity for me to be on stage, and I loved it. And then I won, which was, who doesn't like winning? And so I thought, well, I'm good at this. And then he found out about my dance background and decided to do fitness. And then the trajectory of my career just kind of took off from there.
Wow.
Yeah. So I turned pro in 2017. My first year competing professionally was 2018. And that was also my first Olympia.
Wow.
That's
wow.
right.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm looking this up right now. I'm looking at we're going to take a look. This is in 2017 when you won your pro card. So let's take a look.
That was at Universe, Bev Francis Universe.
Bev Francis Universe. Let's see here.
Yeah.
We got, this is you. This is you where you won your pro card. You look such great shape already. You looked awesome. Pull
up a front shot, like bigger in the screen.
Okay. I think that's actually the Mets, I think.
Oh, shoot.
I think that was the Mets. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. It just jumped right back to 2023.
Yeah.
But
2017 though was the year I turned pro.
Yeah. It's awesome. You've always been in great shape.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you always been in great shape? Like, were you were obviously like a dancer and you did some acrobatics?
I've never been overweight, I wouldn't say, but my body composition was very different. And I also went to college and partied and, had like that college baby fat kind of like, baby fluff, if you will. What?
You said 15?
Or? Yeah, I didn't quite gain 15, but it was definitely, a good 8 to, I'm only 5'1.5". So Wendy, as you know, being small,
5 feet tall, 5 feet tall.
We want to noticeable. So I've never been overweight or had any weight issues, but body composition.
There's a couple other things I want to touch on. So when it comes to the fitness, okay, this is something I struggled with. As a gymnast coming into the world of bodybuilding, gymnastic skills and fitness skills, they tend to really develop muscles that throw off your symmetry, right? Your core, your traps, you have to do all the holds and like the presses and like all the flipping and stuff like that. Is that something, because you're pretty symmetrical. You actually have a pretty good X-frame shape.
Thank you.
But it is one of the challenges, with the fitness division, because you're battling with the, a aesthetic physique and a physique that can perform, which they don't necessarily go hand in hand, So tell us about, maybe some of the challenges you face. How do you combat that? How do you try to get your X-frame shape come together?
I would say genetically, I don't have an X-frame.
Yeah.
I'm pretty narrow and straight. I would say my coach has done a really good job of creating one.
You look pretty X'd.
Yeah, that's muscle. If you like structurally, I'm not.
Yeah.
So I would say it's a lot of him. We train very specifically for aesthetics.
Yeah.
And obviously we train some fitness skills, but we're really careful, I don't squat super heavy for numerous reasons.
Right.
One being injuries, one being my waist. But we do a lot of very specific angles and unilateral exercises so that I'm not creating any imbalances, So I would say it's a lot of his training that's created in shape. I mean, all of his training and me just following.
Yeah,
but I think a lot of us do struggle with that, you know, wide waist, or, you know, I don't really have traps, maybe because I didn't do bars and handstands and beams. I don't feel like my traps are that overpowering. That's my coach right there. Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
There he is. You guys are killing it. That's an awesome hack squat.
It is. That is where I train with him at Pro Body Fitness in Mamaroneck, and they have some great equipment. And he gets really creative with me because I do have a lot of injuries, so we don't do super heavy on everything. Some stuff we do, and he would love to, but my body just can't handle it. So we do a lot.
So tell us about your workout. What's your workout plan? Your schedule?
My workout split generally
your weight training.
Yeah, is pretty standard: legs, back, shoulders. Sometimes we do a full upper body day and a full lower body day, as opposed to splitting back and shoulders up. I don't train chest. I don't train arms, which people are really shocked at. So it's pretty standard: back, shoulders, legs. I train probably 4 to 5 days a week as far as weight training goes.
Yeah.
And the other days are just cardio or off.
Now,
and then fitness skills we kind of sprinkle in there.
Yeah. I mean, you do train arms because those presses and holds,
right?
Those handstands. Oh my God. Like that is training arms.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
So this question's for Wendy and Jaclyn, and people who are watching might not know, but because, especially in the 2-piece section of the fitness judging round, it looks very much like figure. Are your training styles very similar, would you say?
I always say I train like a figure athlete and then add my fitness in. And I think that's probably because that's where I started, and that was my coach. And, you know, that's just, I know a lot of other athletes don't train that way.
Yeah.
So that's how I say, I train like a figure athlete and then add the fitness element to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that my training, and this is coming from someone who was a gymnast and a track athlete, my training, I would say, is very dysfunctional. Like it went from very functional to now very dysfunctional, right? Because I go out of my way to avoid things that would help me with function. Because functional exercises, that's the challenge, right? That's why the fitness division is so impressive, because to get on stage and have an X-frame shape, when you like quite literally have to train muscles that do throw off your symmetry, right? I mean, you have to have developed obliques in order to flip and to hold. You have to have really developed traps in order to do handstands and presses. So those muscles will take away from the X-frame shape. I'm so impressed with your physique, Jaclyn, because you wowed me. I remember, just seeing you walk on stage at the Arnold, a few weeks back, and you were one of the physiques that really stood out to me as, wow, like there's, I see an X-frame shape. Missy has that effect on me too, where she's got a crazy X-frame shape. And so it is even more impressive when someone has to be functional and they have, the X-frame shape. Is a really, really difficult thing to do.
Give us a play-by-play of the European experience and this, being at Arnold's show in the UK versus in Columbus, Ohio.
It's funny. I think because, I've never done an Arnold out of the States before. So this was my first show from an Arnold out of the States. I thought they were very similar. I think the only difference maybe is the audience. I'm not seeing as many familiar faces. That would be like something that's a little bit different. But it was run very similarly. And I always think that the Arnold is such a great show because it is run similar every year. And for me, someone who's a little bit OCD, likes to have know what's happening and have, things very the same and on time and everything. It was run very much the same way, which is comforting. So,
Interesting.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I know the energy of the audience in Europe they have this just, would you say, could you tell a difference as far as the
I mean,
audience?
it was loud, it was crowded, it was, they have an appreciation for bodybuilding and for the sport and for what you're doing. It was really enjoyable to speak with everyone that you came off stage, and everyone was congratulating or, you know, acknowledging, taking pictures. It was definitely different.
Yeah, it's different. Have you guys, Camille or Wendy, do you know that experience of being in Europe in front of a European audience? That energy?
I competed at the Arnold's in Australia, and yeah, it definitely had a little bit different feeling, but maybe part of it also is because it's different for us as well. So it was exciting. I had an exciting experience.
The experience for me could not have been anything near the experience for Jaclyn, because here we are, okay, she is standing on the sideline, and Jaclyn, we know, okay, that you have no idea what place you're going to get in fitness, because the routine round counts for almost the whole score. So you knew going into this that you were like 4th or 5th, maybe in the physique round, but you came into finals, you had no idea, right? No idea.
This Arnold, Ohio, I was 5th or 6th in the physique round. Arnold UK, I was actually 1 or 2 because I was pulled out the last 2.
That's right. Okay, thanks for correcting me.
But still,
you don't know. Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know what's going to happen up there.
So
it's a fun game of don't call me, but call me. Don't call like.
Yeah. This is where the magic started, right? So I want to like feel this moment with you. So we're going to play it and we're going to like kind of feel it. And it just, for everyone at home watching, just imagine that you just completed the routine of your life. Okay. You don't totally know what place you're going to get. And you're on the stage in a line with a group of girls that are absolutely incredible. And any one of them could be the winner, right? Yeah. And here she is hearing every name one by one. Okay, Jaclyn, you take it from here.
Yeah, so as each person's name is being called, I'm first of all, I'm very happy to be on stage with all of these women. They're all amazing. Yeah. And I'm excited for, there are new people coming in like Michaela and Abby that, that are getting recognition, and I think they're fantastic and well-deserved. Yeah. And then it's that, is it going to be me next? I hope it's not. Maybe, like, it's such a weird feeling. There's a lot of things that just were going through my head over and over.
Yes. Oh man, here. And so, you and the Abby, she's amazing. I've been like following her. She's got a great routine.
Yeah, Abby's got a bright future. I was really, really happy for I was really happy for her. She's great, and she's young too. I mean, yeah.
A great athlete. And so, I mean, this is an amazing lineup.
Yeah, right, at this moment, I wasn't sure because Michelle was in the last 2 with me for physique round. So I didn't know then if she was first, I was first. I know she's very athletic. She's got a great routine. And then you have Ariel, who was, I think, 3rd or 4th for physique. I'm not really sure where she ended up. And she just won Arnold, Ohio for the 3rd time. So I didn't know if I was going to be 3rd, 2nd, 1st. It was kind of just like, I don't know. There were so many things just going through my head.
So we're down to the final 2. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a battle for many years between you and Ariel.
I agree.
Yeah, and we're good friends, and we think we have a good relationship, which is really nice. So standing there with her, after standing there with her at Ohio the past 2 years, where she took first, you can see us both there standing, genuinely friends, and just waiting.
Yeah. This is the ultimate fan experience, Jaclyn, because, you go through this experience and you enjoy it on stage, and a lot of people are following, but to be able to come back afterwards and watch it with everybody and hear what's going through your mind, I think that's like the ultimate fan experience,
Yeah. So right here, I mean, to be completely honest, we're both saying, I love you, like, great job. Like, we're both mumbling things to each other. And she's squeezing my hand, I'm squeezing her hand. And then, you know, this was my first victory. Yeah, I've been competing now. This is my 7th year as a pro. And my last win was, not that I don't take away 2nd place at Olympia, 2nd place at Ohio. Those are all wins. But I haven't walked away as the champ since 2019 Miami Pro. So, yeah, so this was a really special moment for me, I think, just to have that. Finally, I'm the winner. Yeah, that's kind of what was going through my head there. Like, I did it.
How high was your heart rate?
My head. What?
How high was your heart rate?
Oh my gosh.
It was weird. It was going, but I was actually just very calm. And then I started to get a little emotional right here.
Yeah.
I thought it was so
That's
cute.
amazing.
When you talked to Arnold, I thought that was the cutest moment ever. Oh my God. How was that?
Yeah, that was great. He just said, you know, congratulations, great performance. So it was very cool.
You look like a little girl, just like,
You know, yeah.
That is so
This
awesome.
is great.
Yeah, it was really special.
At least
So that has to be cool. You're sitting there waiting for Arnold to come out, right?
I didn't even realize he was going to be handing me my trophy because he was there, but he wasn't there. Usually he's like sitting backstage and you kind of know, and I didn't really know the protocol. So I wasn't sure.
They didn't tell you the protocol. You're like, I don't know what we're supposed to do. We got Arnold here. Like, how are we supposed to handle this? Is he gonna? That was cute,
exactly.
I thought you, Ariel, showed that
a lot goes on with him.
What was that?
Yeah.
Especially there, yes.
That's so
awesome. There's a lot happening when he's around. So
so many people are like trying to get his attention. He doesn't have like one moment. And we saw that at the with Bikini when Laura Lee, you know, she knows the story and how things are supposed to work. And so she was sitting there kind of waiting for Arnold.
Yeah.
And she got left hanging because somebody distracted him.
I don't know if Arnold UK is different than Arnold Ohio, but same thing kind of happened to me. I was like, is he going to interview me? Am I going to say anything? Or, okay, no, that's not happening. So, I mean, I think it's just whatever he decides to do at the moment because it's his show and he can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Let's dive a little deeper here, Jaclyn, because, you know, I think that, you know, anything worth having is worth fighting for, right? I mean, it doesn't quite feel like a victory if you don't have to go through all that struggle. And we know that you have gone through a lot of struggle to get to here. Second place might feel like a win to like everyone else in the whole world, but for you, it wasn't. It was a hit for you, right? I mean, you wanted the win. You've been knocking on the door. So, you know, Lenda and I and Camille, we talk about this a lot. You know, we talk about the mindset and how, you know, when you really zone in on that mindset, there's something that happens. It's a shift in your energy. When you decide that you want something so bad, there's like a next level that you click into. So tell us about that on your journey, on your road, getting to this final destination.
Yeah, I would say, I can bring it all the way back to 2019 when I placed 4th at Olympia out of nowhere. I mean, I was 13th in physique round, and there were, I think, 14. And I knew that moment on stage when I performed my routine that I had made my mark in the fitness industry or in the fitness division. And I felt it. I didn't know that I was going to place 4th, but I felt that like moment. And then it was kind of this just domino effect of energy. And, you know, my coach saying to me, you can win, you can do this. And then I think as it sort of steamrolled, I believed more and more in myself that I could win and I could, you know, win these titles. But there's obstacles with everything. And like you said, Wendy, 2nd place 3 times in a row, 3rd place. It's hard to see that when I am performing at my best. And, you know, I don't like to say it's a loss by any means because it's not, but it felt like that at this past Arnold, Ohio. You know, I really thought that I had brought my best and that I would be rewarded for that. And, you know, they just didn't see it that way. And I've said from day one, it's a subjective sport. I've been in the subjective industry my entire life. So I know that it is. And, you know, all I can do is present my best and that's it. But that was a hit for me. That was really tough.
Yeah.
And then I was just determined from those 2 weeks to show everyone that I did deserve to be Miss Fitness International, Ohio, UK, whatever it was. Like I felt like no matter what, I was going to put everything possible into it. Literally blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, I'm not even a crier. And my sister was like, "Are you crying again?" I think I cried more in the week between that I was home, the 5 days I was home from Ohio to UK, than my entire life. Like I'm just not that emotional of a person, and I just kept losing it. And I think it was just I wanted it so bad.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You're a great example for athletes that one, determination and just having that focus and that goal is so important because you didn't give up and you did it. And the second part that's amazing is that like I totally lost my
you inspire people because you're, you know, here's the thing, all right? When people fall, when people lose or whatever, it's like most people don't keep going. You know what I mean? And this is from the lowest levels to the highest levels. And I think that people assume that when somebody like you, who is like this champion, incredible fitness competitor, like that it's all sunshine and rainbows, that you just experience this, like this feeling of winning. And to a lot of people, second place would be a win. So like, they don't understand maybe that either. Right. But the reality is, and I think I can speak for all of us here, that if you have won anything, you most likely have lost a lot more times than you've ever won. So to get to that 1% of your life that you get that elated feeling, it requires like so much more of that gut wrenching feeling that people quit after just one time. That's, I think, is that what you're trying to say, Camille?
That's a great point. But what I was going to say is that just because you place a certain way 1 week, so many things can change, even if you're competing against the same athlete. So you competed only 3 weeks later and you got that win and you were competing against, you know, it was between you and Ariel. So that was my other point, was that, you know, every show is different. Don't just think like I've lost to this person or I placed this way and this lineup's going to be there again. I'd probably do the same. It can change.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. People used to say like, well, you're going to go to this show, you're going to go to that show, this person's going to be there. I was thinking, I'm eventually you're going to have to compete against those people. So why
not?
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh yeah. So it's so impressive.
Thank you. So
Jaclyn, what are your plans for? You're probably sitting out the rest of the year, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna, you know, take a couple of months and then, you know, enjoy, relax a little bit, and then start prepping for Olympia. I always try to do a show before Olympia. My coach is always like, "We're not doing that.
We're not doing that." You do? You try to do a show before the Olympia?
Well, here's my thing, and it kind of like Wendy says that the second place people wouldn't really understand that that's like a loss to me. The trajectory of my career was very quick. So I did 3 pro shows 2017 and went to Olympia.
Yeah.
The next year I did 2 pro shows and went to Olympia. That was 2019.
Yeah.
So since I did 2 years as a pro and competed in, what do we call them, normal pro shows? And then I've only done Olympia and Arnold since then.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
Qualified. So I've always, and I don't know if it was that itch to get on stage, to win, to, you know, whatever it was, just to compete because I'm competitive. But I always want to do another show. And then we don't.
Well, yeah, maybe you're at the point in your career where you can choose the big ones, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
like you need to do a warm up for Olympia or the
no,
Arnold.
so I haven't done a pro show again since Miami 2019. So I'll just rest. I guess to answer your question, Camille, yeah, just rest and then get ready for Olympia.
So how much time do you normally give yourself to practice and to come up with your routine?
Yeah.
How much do you normally do? Because this time you did it in 3 days.
It really depends. So my choreographer lives in Atlanta. So he'll come here for one weekend whenever we can coordinate. Sometimes it's 12 weeks out. Sometimes it's 8 weeks out. It's not really set in stone.
Yeah.
I would think this year, but for Ohio, we met in January and the show was in March. So maybe like 8 weeks. And then I just run it by myself. I usually run it in sections. I meet my sister probably once a week to go over it and just fine tune some things. But I know a lot of the other fitness athletes, they keep one routine for the full year and they start like in January and compete in November. I think I'm probably very different in that respect.
Yeah.
Clearly. I think maybe 3-day practice is your lucky charm.
I know. I was like, maybe we should just do this from now on. It was good. I didn't have to overthink anything. My body wasn't injured.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am also one of the older fitness athletes. I just turned 40 this year. So I think that,
you don't look it.
You don't look it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I think that has to do with, say it again.
No, I was going to say one of my next questions or comments is that going into this Ms. Olympia, like, to me, you're a front runner. You're, it's kind of like what Camille was saying, that, some of the athletes you guys are going and you're having to compete in shows like, Chicago Pro, the Atlanta Pro, you're trying to qualify, but you are the cream of the crop. You're at the top. You're like the one that we're looking at to say, we're not just looking at Missy Truscott and Whitney Jones, the top names. We're looking at Jaclyn Baker. We're looking at Ariel Kadar. So how does that feel? That's what it's about right now.
Yeah. Again, I think I feel proud. I think I feel I feel like it's a little bit surreal to hear my name in that kind of way. It's hard to wrap my head around, but I also feel like I've worked my butt off for the past, years, months. So I feel like it's what I deserve and where I should be.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
Right. I think one thing that I love about you is you keep the fun in there. I love the relationship you have with your sister. You guys are so fun. I found this video of her helping you put your makeup on. I mean, you guys just look like you're having the best time. And now tell me, I have to know, is this really how you guys do your makeup?
Behind,
man, it turns out good, but
I don't know why she was doing it this way. So usually I do my makeup and she touches it up, and then she will come in like, I can put my own eyelashes on, but she does it for me because she's there and whatever. And this was This was Ohio, and she come and my coach is in the background complaining about something, and. Yeah, she came behind me and started doing that. She's like, it's like my own face. It's better this way.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So fun.
So we have a very good relationship. And my younger sister was able to be there also. This is my older sister. I'm in the middle. And my younger sister was able to be there also, which is really fun. So now she's doing it more normally.
All hands on deck for Jaclyn.
All hands. I've got a great team, an army behind me. Yeah.
So awesome.
So what's the best part? What's the best part of this? Like when you arrive, like when you're off the plane, you're in your hotel, you've checked into your hotel, like sometimes people think it's like about eating, but
No.
the fun part of the makeup and the hair, and what's the best part?
I would say the stage. For me, the stage.
Yeah.
For me, the stage, and seeing, like, I'm a very observant person. So I can see everyone in the audience. Like, I'm able to find my coach, to find my parents, to find my sisters. I see all the judges. I always see you, Lenda, always. So
no, we don't. Jaclyn, you jinxed it. You jinxed it.
Yeah, I would say the stage is my favorite part. The eating and the makeup and the hair doesn't do it for me.
Our food is horrible up until before the show.
Yeah, and the lack of water situation is like never good.
Hydration part.
We're talking about now.
All I want is to have some water with my food.
Right.
So the stage for me is where it's just, there's some exhilarating feeling that you get when you're on stage and all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
So I would say that, and then sharing all those moments with, my parents and my sisters and my coach and choreographer and whoever else is there with me.
So awesome. We have
oh, that's great.
I have the what I love is the camaraderie between you and Ariel. It just really, you could really tell to me that you guys have a great camaraderie, I feel like you guys, when you hug, it looks like a real hug. You guys are really rooting for each other.
Yeah, it is genuine. You know
what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not one of those women that's into the drama and the cattiness and we're all there to compete. We're all competing against each other, but that doesn't mean that we have to, dislike each other and not be friendly. So it is genuine. We talk, we talk today, we talk often. And even going into Ohio, I kind of text her and I was like, I feel like people are trying to pin us against each other, and I think it's great because it's getting this buzz around our division, which is awesome. Yeah. And women's divisions, which I love. Yeah. But I wanted to make sure that neither one of us were kind of it's just getting weird.
Why don't you guys should stage a brawl or a fight or something? It's exciting.
Fans would love it.
Right, here you guys go. You guys want
exactly. We come out like the wrestlers do when they are the boxers in those corners and they sit and they just stand staring at each other.
And we know you guys could do that really well too.
Oh yeah.
The wrestling moves.
Yeah.
Well, I'm digging this new era. I'm not new era, but this era, this current era of the fitness gals, I'm really digging. I love, Taylor, she's an up and coming star, I love you make me so emotional. Your routines, they move me so much. I've always loved Ariel. She's been in the mix for a very long time, even though she's probably one of the youngest ones, even still.
Yeah.
So, you ladies really, we have Whitney and Missy, obviously, that we can't ever forget about. They're always in the mix, but I'm really digging this up and coming generation. It almost feels like we're really elevating in the fitness division, period, just across the board. I don't think I've ever seen an era with so much talent and so much skill. I mean, how do you feel about being a part of this era?
Yeah, it's funny. I was actually getting acupuncture today and talking to him about it. And he was watching the show and he was saying it seems like, there's a lot of different types of routines and mine is so different. But I feel like, I have had some part in transitioning the fitness division to change a little bit away from what it may have been, 10 years ago where, more dancers are coming in and realizing they can enter it. And it's not all about just these crazy skills. And it is more of a show and a performance. So I love it. And I love the fact that some of the fitness women are coming to me and saying, can you help me with the transitions? Can you help me with the dance? Can you how do I make the audience, want to watch me? And so I love the new era of fitness. And I think it's only up from here. I mean, you've got, like you said, Abby and Taylor, these young women that are so talented. and
Yeah.
like I said, young. I mean, they're 26.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and that's I'm not saying I'm old by any means, but in comparison, 26 and 40 are very different in our division.
Especially doing what you guys are doing.
Right, exactly. So I think it's great for the fitness division. I think it's in 5-6 years going to be hard to beat some of them because they are so talented.
Yeah. But I think it's great because where you are, I mean, you're now you're a leader. You, like you said, you really hoped over the 7 years to bring the sport of fitness where it is. And it's so clear that it takes a lot of like experience, because you guys, again, we're looking at the physique. We're also looking at like doing that, being able to pull the two together, that be on that stage with the physique, and understand what you have to do to go the long haul, to be able to have the physique, but at the same time perform as you do and entertain.
To your point, Lenda,
you just don't get that overnight.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Lenda, we have a Nicolette here, and I think similar to Taylor, okay, both of them seem like they come from strong like dance, gymnastics backgrounds, but they haven't quite reached that muscle maturity that, like, say, for example, Jaclyn has reached, right? And but the division is really bringing in women like that, right? Maybe it's opened up more to the women that with all this dance and gymnastics talent, and they're maybe working their way into that physique part of it, right? Yeah, I mean, this young woman, she had a great routine. I think in the physique round, she was just had a little bit less muscle than the rest of you ladies, and I really enjoyed her routine. I thought her costume and everything was just the fitness division is becoming such a fun division to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it always has, but like I think like with every division, as time progresses and time goes by, each division gets better and better and better and better. And in 5-10 years from now, like people are going to be looking back at Jaclyn's moves and trying to change.
Yeah.
That's just how we progress.
Yeah. This is Abby Bolton. Do you watch the routines backstage, or do you just stay focused?
I stay focused. I'm kind of very much to myself until it's over, until I'm done. And then I'll watch some of them. So I haven't even seen Abby's yet.
She has some awesome skills. Another up and comer who is building her physique into matching her routine skills, because again that's kind of where we're at with the fitness division, right? All this talent coming in, and it's really great to see. You don't have to have this crazy amount of muscle. And we talked about this too in the last one, Jaclyn, that we had you in, but some of the fitness girls are really happy to see that, because if I'm not mistaken, it is a lot harder to perform these skills when you have a lot of muscle and a lot of weight to carry around, right?
Yeah. I think it depends on the physique and what you're used to doing. I think also it's a little bit, people think we're bigger than we are. We have more muscle than we are. I think that's a perception also. But yeah, it is, you lose a little bit of flexibility. It is, if you're heavier, handstands are harder. So it is nice. I think someone like Abby reminds me of myself, because I was, one of the women that didn't have the best physique in my first couple Olympias. And now, being the last two standing, so to speak, with the physique round makes me really proud. So yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a dance background?
Who we're watching? I think I honestly don't know exactly what her background is. It's definitely gymnastics, but she doesn't move so much like a gymnast.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure. I don't want to speak on it because I'm not exactly sure what her background is.
Because a lot of times you can kind of tell if a fitness competitor has like a cheer background or gymnastics, and those seem to be like the most common too.
Yes. Well, in dance land, muscle really wasn't ever a good thing. Right. So I was always like, as a kid, I was built a little more muscular, and like in ballet land, I wasn't allowed to do the push-ups. I was supposed to be careful on, it was all about not having muscle and just being skinny.
Right.
So you don't see a lot of dancers gravitating towards that because our brains are wired very differently.
Right.
Yeah. Which is kind of why it's very that you came down to our world.
Yeah. And let me tell you, it's nice. It's nice to be, appreciated, and someone to say, "Oh, you have beautiful arms or shoulders," or "Oh, your legs are so big," and that's a good thing, as opposed to
being self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I think is really exciting is the fact that, again, that your physique and that you won, and that it also helps to mold and send a message this year going into the Olympia, and it opens up. It paints a different picture than I think what we were looking at the Olympia going into this year's Olympia. And then, at that, during the physique round, when, everybody was looking at Missy pretty much like in the morning, like she won the physique round. And then I think we maybe had, for sure, Whitney in second or something like that. So it kind of takes the pressure off. Like, it's not about, it just changes it.
As we know that,
I don't know what I'm trying to say with that, but it just changes it. It's like I'm like now looking at Jaclyn Baker, and I'm looking at Ariel, and it just changes it up for me.
Right. Setting the tone for sure. I mean, we're seeing a lot of women come into this division who they don't have the muscle maturity yet. They're kind of slim, look like raw, gymnasts or dancers, and they're having some success early on before, and before, like, to Lenda's point, I mean, if you were to rewind the tape 3 to 4 years ago, even not even that long ago, the physiques that were the craziest, most muscular physiques, they were winning a lot more, right? And so like, it is a really good message to send. I think we talked about this with Sandy too, is that, the girls are getting a little bit tinier, a little bit less muscular, and the routines are getting better. Are seeing what we
and it's not putting the pressure. It's not putting that pressure or sending a message out there to the potential women that are coming into the sport. Right. I mean, I feel like with women's bodybuilding, I know what we've been going through, growing pains. And I look at the same thing with fitness. You want to invite those Taylor Learmonts and those other women out there, and for them to not like look and say, I have to be as muscular as Missy Truscott, or I have to, be as muscular as a Whitney Jones, but to look and say, look at your background, Jaclyn, and see your dance, and to see how you transitioned and you transformed. And
well, Jaclyn, I love your physique. You have a great balance.
Thank you very much.
Great balance.
Yeah, your physique is very balanced. It's got just the right. You have just the right amount of muscle, in my opinion. You're not crazy muscular, but you have muscle maturity. You have, to me, it's just right. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Look at her silhouette when she comes out, like at the UK, when she just won. I mean, for us and for regular folk, you can see her shoulders and her waist, and she's muscular.
Yep.
She is. She has a great physique.
She absolutely does.
I think, my training, it kind of goes back to that, is my coach and I are not just putting on mass to put on mass. We're very specific. And that kind of touches on what Wendy was saying earlier about training and fitness. I'm not just shoulder pressing 50 pounds. First of all, I can't shoulder press 50 pounds. But we're doing things for a reason, to develop my physique aesthetically. So that I can stand next to someone who has an X frame like a Missy Truscott, because I just don't. So our training is specific. And I think that's what a lot of people miss when they're training for fitness specifically, is like they're just trying to get bigger or more muscle, or it's not about that. It's about what you actually, the details that you're going to show when you're on stage.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And your routine is 2/3 of the, you know, that's what that's fitness. So when we find someone with the balance, with the physique, like your physique, and pulling off an amazing routine like you did to win the UK, you are our champion.
Thank you.
You're Miss International Fitness UK.
Sounds pretty good. Keep saying it.
I said it. All right, guys. I think it's time for us to wrap it up.
Yeah.
We want to congratulate you again. We look so forward to what is about to go down in 2024 in the fitness division, and you're a perfect example for all of the women out there, for this sport, for the fitness division to grow. So we're very proud of you and looking forward to what you're going to bring at the Olympia.
Thank you. So nice speaking with all of you, and I really appreciate you having me on the show again.
Our pleasure.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Enjoy your off season.
The last word. Oh, go ahead, Camille.
I just said enjoy your off season.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want
you deserve it.
Yes, before we head out, Jaclyn, one final word to your fans and everybody who looks up to you. Give us some words of wisdom.
I would say it's a quote that I heard years ago, and I would say Coca-Cola didn't change its product just because people like Pepsi.
Oh, snap.
Stay true to yourself and who you are as an athlete, a performer, and a human.
Oh my God, I love that. Well, you guys, everyone there at home, thank you for joining us. And Jaclyn, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Camille.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lenda. Thank you, ladies.
Bye.
This was so much fun. Bye, everyone.
Bye.